here's a horsemanship vlog for in reflection of today. Today was Monday. God, April never knows what day it is in the pandemic, but I do know it's Monday. My horses were so cool today. This clinic helped so much. I hope that the stuff that is stuck with me today sticks with me in the future, that I don't go off and forget it. I just turned Zoe out today, but what was super cool about that was that she just hung out with me for like half an hour. It was really cool. And then actually she yawned a few times in there too. I wasn't doing anything with her, but she hung out with me for like half an hour. Then I groomed her and put her back, and then she just was like chilling in her stall all afternoon. She did the sweetest thing. Her neighbor, so one side of her, gets really worried if she gets left alone, and she's okay when Zoe gets out, but when the horse on the other side of her gets out, she just loses it. And if Zoe and that other horse are out, she can't really get through that. But if Zoe's there with her, she can get through that. She's worried. She's definitely let some of it out, but she can at least get through it. And it was so sweet because as the gelding was walking, I was over there while the gelding was walking away, the one that this other mare is really attached to. And Zoe walks over to Lily, which is the other mare, and just pushes her nose out and smells her like, friend, it's all right. I'm right here. It's gonna be fine. And it's so sweet to watch them comfort each other like that. And for such a young horse to be the more confident one and to have the confidence in herself. The other thing where you can tell where she's a little bit more confident is that that mare pins her ears at her, and Zoe knows she's on the other side of the fence. She's not worried about that at all. She's like, she can't hurt me. And I think she knows that that's just Lily's anxiety coming out. It's not Lily really intending to hurt her. So it was really, really sweet just seeing, that was really sweet just seeing Zoe. And then she hung out with her there for several minutes. The mare still had quite a bit of worry in her, but it was sweet to see my little horse clearly trying to comfort her, this other horse. So anyway, there wasn't a lot to report about Zoe today because I didn't work with her. She needs a day off. I was thinking about giving her tomorrow off too. We'll see. Well, I've got to look at my calendar. And Wyatt, I had a magical session with Wyatt. I'm so happy for him. The things that I learned this weekend are going to help him so much. And of course, it's going to help every horse I ever work with. And it's so amazing. I introduced that yesterday, and in a moment, he was willing to trust, to try, that I might not go back to the old way. Literally just one time. It took me doing that one time, and I saw this little light come on in him where he was like, really, is that all? And he was so quick to let go of his bad feeling about what I might do when he realized that there was a possibility that I might do it a new way that works better, that feels better to him. And I was really proud of him today because first thing, we had to wait, 20 minutes or something for the round pin. It was 20 minutes to a half an hour. He waited very patiently. He didn't get weird. He just did a good job with that. And then we got into the round pin. Somebody was running a small, but still a chainsaw next to the round pin, and that had him worried. And actually, it's interesting, and it didn't surprise me too much. The chainsaw wasn't too loud, and it was sort of a constant noise. So he kind of made friends with fairly quickly. But what he didn't like was the raking, and the guy was raking some stuff underneath the tree. So cleaning up a little bit. And anyway, what I was really happy with was I was thinking like that a year ago, he would have 2 years ago, I couldn't even gone down there when that happened, or I would have had to leave. And a year ago, it would have just been a lot. And I just had a couple ideas. I had a couple, again, the clinic, well timed, I had a couple really good ideas for how to help him through that a little bit more effectively than maybe I would have even a week ago. And so I was able to be more helpful with him, getting him through that. And he just really quickly let go of some worry. And I did several things with him in the round pen today, where he just there was one point it had gotten kind of windy in the little sign rattled, and it was just kind of like the last straw, and he had already been feeling a little bit worried. His worry had come up, and so he actually farted a little bit. He kind of scooted forward at a canter and farted a little bit, but the feeling of him coming back to me was completely different than what it usually is. He didn't hit the end of the line. I went with him. I don't know why. My feet moved, and I didn't have a lot of I didn't pull on the line, so he didn't ever hit the end of the line, and he actually was able to break to a trot on his own instead of, a lot of the times he might do that, and he might stop and whirl around and look at me, and with a real bad feeling in him, or if it got real bad, if he hit the end of the line too hard, he might rear, because he felt like he couldn't get away. And it was so cool to watch him just like that. And I swear it's the change that I made yesterday that allowed that thing to go this way. So I just had this real magical session with him today, where he just felt, once he got through worry, once he got past worrying about the other stuff that was going on, where he felt really connected to me. I mean, I had him trotting and cantering around. I had him loose in there, and he's trotting and cantering around behind me, and and those last few minutes, there was something different about him and about his energy and the place that he went. This is kind of funny, but I think it means a lot to him. I learned how to halter my horse 2 days ago. So, 20, 30 years of horsemanship, I finally know how to halter the horse. And that made a big difference to him. Because I've known for a long time, part of his worry about being haltered, there's multiple worries, but he doesn't like it when it gets drug over his face, so I don't have to drag it over his face this way. And I'm like, why did nobody ever show me this before? Or they did and I missed it. I mean, I think Julie probably showed me one other time. I missed the little detail that I saw 2 days ago that made a huge difference. And nobody else does it this way, and this way is so much better. So I don't know, like, you can tell my energy is really low right now, in a good way, like really peaceful. I just feel so good about the session that I had with him today, and about how he felt. It was just so nice to see him come through like that, and how quick it happened. It's so amazing how quick that happened for him. And then I was able, because he had let go so much, to actually work on something else, to get his shoulder to move over a little bit. And that made so much more sense to him. So, I don't know, I must have just been ready to feel these things. And I do think this isn't how it should work, but I think one reason why I was able to feel it so clearly over the weekend is because Zoe doesn't have any baggage in her, so when I did it correctly, it just sort of fell into place, and I was like, oh, is that how it's supposed to feel? Whereas Wyatt has all the baggage in him, and so the first time you do it correctly, it might not go the way you had hoped it would. Typically, you want to say green on green is black and blue, although I suppose I'm not that green. I'm probably a lot further along in my horsemanship journey than a lot of people. And I think the other thing that saves me a lot is that I see trouble brewing, and I think the ability to see the trouble brewing and either do something about it or get the heck out of there is huge. That'll save you when you don't know what to do. At least being able to identify that trouble is about to happen. So I just felt so good about what happened today. I'm having some kind of weird sinus there. And I'm sleepy. I need to go home and eat and take a nap, because my body's still recovering from a weekend. But I do feel, I kind of need to bathe in this low energy, because this is the best energy I've felt in maybe months. Like, I have, like, clinic hangover, but in a good way.